What's going on, everybody? It's Lawrence Dumas, and I want to welcome you into What's the Business Podcast. As you can see, I am on the screen, and we are going to do our first video podcast because this episode, what I want to jump into is I want to share something with you that's very near and dear to my heart, something that I learned that helped to turn my business building acumen around. I learned this about 4 or 5 years ago, and it slowed me down completely in the building business space. And it's 3 things I was doing wrong in network marketing, right? And how the art of prospecting changed my perspective. This is What's the Business. I'm Lawrence Eugene, your host. Let's jump in. I want to start this episode with something honest. I have been failing at network marketing. And that is not easy to say out loud, because when you believe in something, when you see the potential, when you know the opportunity can help people, you want the results to match the belief. But for me, there was a gap. I believed in the opportunity, but I was not always effective in the conversation. I had excitement, but I did not always have posture. I had information, but I did not always know how to introduce it. I had a vision, but I was not always guiding people into that vision the right way. And when I started looking at what was really happening, I realized something. I was not failing because network marketing does not work. I was struggling because I had not mastered the introduction process. This is where the art of prospecting started changing my perspective. Now, prospecting is not just talking to people. It's not chasing people. It's not begging. It's not dumping information. And it's definitely not trying to convince someone in one conversation. Prospecting is the art of helping the right person become curious enough to look, interested enough to learn, and clear enough to make a decision. So today, I want to share 3 things I was doing wrong in network marketing and how learning to prospect differently started to change things for me. Number 1, I was explaining before I created curiosity. The first thing I was doing wrong was trying to explain the business too soon. I would get excited. Somebody would ask a small question, and I would turn that small opening into a full presentation. I would talk about the product, the company, the compensation plan, then the team, then the potential, then the system. Woo! Right? You see that? You see how overwhelming that little bit was? And by the time I was done, I had talked them out of their own curiosity. That was a big lesson for me, right? Sometimes people are not rejecting the opportunity. They are rejecting the way it is being introduced. I had to learn that the first move is not to explain everything. The first move is to slow the conversation down and make the person think. One question that helped me do that was, knowing what you know now about Facebook and Apple, if you were in that dorm room or in that garage, would you have gotten started? That question helped me break the ice, right? It gave people something familiar to think about. It helped me introduce the idea of opportunity without immediately trying to sell them on mine. Because everybody understands what it feels like to look back and say, man, I wish I would have seen that earlier. The moment of the question is not to compare my company to Facebook or Apple. The point is to help the person pause and think about timing, vision, and being willing to look before something becomes obvious to everybody else. Then I can simply say, that is all I'm asking. I am not asking you to make a decision right now. I'm asking if you would be open to take a quick look at some information and seeing if it makes sense. That changed the conversation. It took pressure out of the moment. I was no longer trying to explain the whole business on the spot. I was creating curiosity and asking for a simple next step, right? This is what I had been missing. Number two, I was expecting family to respond like they owed me support. I was doing wrong was how I approached family. This one hit me different because when you first get started, it is natural to think about the people closest to you when you make your list of 25 people. You think they know me, they love me, they should at least hear me out. And yes, family should support you emotionally. But support does not automatically mean they are ready to become a customer or business partner. That was the part I had to mature in. I was putting expectations on people before giving them a process. I wanted them to see what I saw immediately. I wanted them to be excited because I was excited. And when they were not, I took it personally. But looking back, I can see that I was not always respecting the process. Family still needs to be introduced properly. They still need to be asked if they are open. They still need to look at the information for themselves. They still need to understand the product, the business, the timing, the cost, and the next step. And they still have the right to say, this is not for me. That does not mean they do not love me. It means they are making their own decision. So my posture had to change. Instead of thinking they should support me, this because they support me. They should support this because they support me. I had to start thinking, let me respect them enough to walk them through this correctly. That means no guilt, no pressure, no emotional expectation, no skipping steps because they are family. Just a simple, professional process. Create curiosity. Ask if they're open. Send the information. Follow up. Find out where they are. Then move forward. Follow up later or release respectfully. That helped me protect relationship. It also helped me stop feeling rejected every time someone close to me did not respond the way I hoped. Because now I understand something. A clear answer is better than a forced yes. And number three, I was trying to close before I knew where the prospect was. That third thing I was doing wrong was moving too fast after someone showed interest. If somebody said, that sounds interesting, I heard, I'm ready. If they watched the video, I wanted to know if they were signing up. If they asked questions, I tried to answer everything myself. But interest is not the same as readiness. A person can be curious and still need more clarity. They can like the product, but not understand the business. They can understand the business, but still have concerns. They can see potential, but not be ready to move today. And if I rush that moment, I can lose the trust I just built. The better move is to measure where they are. After they look at the information, I learned to ask, what stood out to you? That question lets them talk first. You see, my dad's a preacher, right? And I grew up talking. I was that kid that on the markings it said, has potential but talks entirely too much. They wrote notes about my talking in class, right? So I had to learn how to ask questions, qualifying questions. That's the key to prospecting, is asking the right questions at the right time, and it will allow you to get the right answer. Then you can move on and help them to make an informed decision, because that's what this is all about. That's what the basis of network marketing is all about. That's what the basis of prospecting is all about, right? Is to guide a person that you feel may be a good fit, but you're guiding them through to see if they are qualified. And once you find out if they're qualified, then you are helping them to make that decision to get involved, right? And that's just the starting point. This is just the starting point. This is just introducing and getting them exposed to the opportunity. Now, if they are low, then there was another thing that I did, right? It tells me what they actually heard when I asked the questions. Then I can ask, on a scale from 1 to 10, where are you right now? That gives direction. If they are low, I do not need to chase. If they are unsure, I can ask another question. If they are at a 5 or above, that is the moment to bring in support. That was another big shift for me. I used to think I had to answer every question. I thought I needed to explain the whole thing perfectly. But that is not duplication. That is pressure. A real business builder learns how to use the system. So now, when someone is interested enough, I do not keep talking. I bring in my senior business partner. I can say, since you are at a 5 or above, the next best step is to connect you with my senior business partner so they can answer your questions and help you decide if this is a fit. That is cleaner. It is more professional, and it takes the pressure off of me trying to be the expert before I've even earned the role. Now, when I started seeing prospecting this way, things began to change. Not because every person said yes. That is not real life. Things changed because I became more intentional. I stopped throwing information at people. I stopped chasing reactions. I stopped assuming family should automatically join. I stopped trying to close people before I understood where they were. I stopped slowing down. I started slowing down. I started asking better questions. I started listening more. I started focusing on the next step instead of trying to win the whole conversation at once. And that gave me more confidence because now I'm not just sharing the opportunity. I'm guiding the process. That is the difference. If you are new in network marketing, or even if you've been around for a while but feel stuck, I want you to think about this. Before you can build a team, you have to learn how to guide a prospect. Before you can guide a prospect, you have to learn how to create curiosity. And before you can create curiosity, you have to stop trying to explain everything too soon. This is why I created So You Want to Be a Champion Network Marketer, the training game beta version. I built it because I needed practice, and I use this daily, right? I needed to see the conversation differently. I needed to learn what to say, what not to say, when to send the information, when to follow up, and when to bring in support. And now I want other people to have a way to practice that too. Because the secret to success is not hype. It's structure, it's repetition, it's learning the process before trying to perform the process. And for me, that is what the art of prospecting changed. It helped me to stop trying to force conversations and start learning how to guide them. And guys, that's what's the business. My name is Lawrence Eugene. I'm your champion CEO coach, and I want you to be the chief experience officer, not only in your business, but also in your life. Listen, guys, I want you to like, comment, subscribe. Matter of fact, come on over to the Champion CEO digital community on Facebook. Catch me at CEOcommunity.net, and just reach out to me in the DM. Let's connect. Let's talk. I have a school account where we have a digital community as well, and I have some other trainings and courses that are on the way. So with that being said, guys, my name is Lawrence Eugene. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you on the beaches of the world. I look forward to seeing each one of you at the bank, and most importantly, I look forward to seeing you at the top. Hey, go prospect and be great.